Alrighty. Greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Thanks for joining me every day on the interwebs. I appreciate you. Oh,
And then there's that. All right. Thanks for letting me know, Major Tom. No more super echo, I hope. Sorry about that. Maybe that's intentional. You'll never know. How's it going, guys? We're live on YouTube, Rockfin, and Callin, and also Twitter. We're live on Twitter. So welcome. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to talk about this and that. It's a Friday. Man, I'm just going to do this at the beginning of the show. If you want to support this show, you can. Good news. You can. No, it's buymeacoffee.com/blackbearnews. That's how the late night infomercial would do it, right? Great news. Have you ever wondered how to support Black Bear News? Were you just sitting around on your couch one day thinking, how do I give some money to Black Bear News? Well, these are the ways that you can. Cash App at Red Llama Music, Venmo at Kevin Sandblum, PayPal.me/Kevin Sandblum, Zelle, Kevin Sandblum at ProtonMail.com. You can also super chat me, and you can super ray me. You can give me a super ray. You know what a super ray is? A super ray is a tip on Rockfin. Yeah, war has a carbon. It all has a carbon footprint, right? It all has or an ecological footprint, doesn't it? News out of China or regarding China. This seems to be a story that doesn't want to go away. You hear the stories of some kind of pneumonia or outbreak of respiratory illness in China. It's been going on for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. And I guess some people are alarmed by it. Some people are alarmed at the alarms, right? Like don't fall for the okey doke. They're trying to do another COVID on you. I guess I would be in the latter. Group. Like, I don't know. Oh wow, somebody with another blue and yellow flag in my chat on Callin. Whoa. Named HIMARS. You guys are funny, man. You guys are hilarious. I'm sorry. It's just so funny. Somebody with a blue and yellow flag called HIMARS. Really? Is that a real person? Okay. Anyways, I got distracted. But anyways, there's been these kind of warning signals, I guess, coming out of China. About, but it seems to be. I don't know. Sure. Maybe this is maybe they're trying to push a COVID 2.0 on us. Maybe, it seems to have this kind of the same earmarks, I guess. But I don't know. Oh, we'll come back to it. Bobby sent me this about every Bitcoin transaction uses on average enough water to fill a backyard swimming pool. A new study suggests 6 million times more than is used in a typical credit card swipe. I find this interesting. And there is, evidence that obviously a Bitcoin transaction requires a lot of processing because of the proof of work. I don't know how they quantify as how much water it uses. I'm not really sure. I mean, I have to take it on face value. I guess it uses a swimming pool full of water. But I think, there is what we're going to look at a little bit of the data, the water usage for cooling data. It's interesting. There's some interesting uh, facts around that. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I tried to look at it a little bit more. I find it hard to know how they quantify it. However, uh, there is also an agenda. There's an agenda to uh, not criminalize necessarily, but just to demonize is the word I was looking for. Bitcoin. To demonize Bitcoin. Like there's a concerted effort to make you think, oh, Bitcoin is bad because they fund terrorists and it uses a lot of energy and water. It's bad. Bitcoin is bad. I mean, okay. Lots of things are bad. I don't know. I think the military-industrial complex is bad, like really bad, like way worse than Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin, okay, possibly uses a lot of water and energy. The whole funding terror thing. Okay, whatever. There's lots of, Deutsche Bank funds terror. What a regular old Chase Manhattan and regular banks fund terror. So let's stop with that one. So, there are things that are way worse in the world than Bitcoin. Anyway, whatever. Steve Austin posts this. One is ultimately asking for a friend. Is this UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres talking about the 1.5 degree limit is only possible if we ultimately stop burning fossil fuels. All fossil fuels, all. Ultimately stop burning all fossil fuels. I mean, it's a good question. When is ultimately? I mean, how do you do that? How do you stop burning all fossil fuels? I mean, that's kind of, he said not reduce. Well, that seems certainly like that is a bold statement, but how do you do that? I mean, who's talking about how to do that? I have these questions, You make statements like this, but you don't talk about, well, what does that even look like? What does the world look like if you stop burning all fossil fuels? And how do you even get there? Do you know that you have to burn fossil fuels to make the electric cars? You have to burn fossil fuels to make the solar panels and how do you get there, bro? Are you talking about everybody living like Amish? Because I don't hear that kind of, dude in a suit, that gets into black car motorcades, and probably flies around the world, on very expensive jets, is talking about stopping burning all fossil fuels. Okay. Tell me more. This is interesting. People have also been talking, I've been hearing a lot about the geomagnetic storms. I had a hard time saying that. There's a lot of solar activity, sun flares and whatnot. And some warnings that there could be some electrical disturbances due to that, or internet disturbances, or I don't know. But the upshot, or I guess one of the fallouts from this is that the northern lights are going to be visible at a much lower latitude. So if you guys are in said latitudes, you could maybe enjoy some northern lights while waiting out the geomagnetic storms. Let's read this. Much of the northern United States has the chance to see northern lights tonight. A powerful geomagnetic storm is expected tonight, affecting much of Canada and parts of the northern United States. This follows multiple strong geomagnetic storms produced by our sun on Tuesday, triggered by a solar flare that caused 3 separate events heading towards Earth. The NOAA Space Weather issued a forecast for a KP index of 7, possibly reaching a low end 8 to 6, corresponding to a G3. I don't know what any of this means, sorry, to a low end G4 or G5 rating scale. This indicates, I'm guessing this means strength of the event. Anybody know what KP stands for? Somebody help me out, or maybe I'll just look it up. KP. No, not Kaiser Permanente. No. Oh, the K index. The K index. I couldn't find KP, but it says the K index. Oh, KP is an excellent indicator of disturbances in the Earth's magnetic field and is used by the SWPC to decide whether geomagnetic alerts and warnings need to be issued. Anyways, the K index quantifies disturbances in the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field with an integer in the range of 0 to 9, with 1 being calm and 5 or more indicating a geomagnetic storm. So 7 or 8 is pretty high. If it goes to 9, this one goes to 9. It is derived from the maximum fluctuations of horizontal components observed on a magnetometer during a 3-hour interval. Okay, there you go. Yeah, no, Poppy, I saw that. I tried to follow the link, and that article disappeared. And I wondered why. Why did it disappear? Did they want to retract? Did they not like the article? Did they feel embarrassed by the? I was kind of trying to figure out like why. They would remove it. Lawyers stopped it. Global solidarity. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Or, there might be bigger forces, some forces at play that don't want articles about Bitcoin. I don't know. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot of, okay. And lastly, this is pretty big news. Israel knew Hamas's attack plan more than a year ago. The more you hear about this story, about them being like surprised by a Hamas attack, the more it sounds like another story. What story is that? Could it be 9/11? And interestingly and thankfully, 9/11 it still has a lot of traction, right? There are still a lot of people interested in the truth about 9/11. It's still, and it actually is becoming, I think, more mainstream. I think it's pretty apparent to most people on planet Earth that 9/11 is something is fishy there, right? It's pretty, it was a pretty big event. It's a pretty big story, and they really tried to call people kooky who had questions about it, but now it's become so pervasive, that building, you can't take down 3 buildings with 2 planes. You just can't. Sorry. It's just, sorry. Anybody who tries to explain that to me, I'm just going to laugh at you because But there'll be plenty of people. Well, the fires and the office fires, and there were things, explosions and fuel tanks, and they're going to try and do that. Put the old, of course. But I mean, I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to say, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you should return your degree to the college at which you obtained it. Thank you. Just hand it back. I mean, it's just flat out ridiculous, right? So, and everybody has questions. Everybody knows this, right? And so, everybody now is like, "That's dumb." Right? That doesn't make no sense. We know Larry Silverstein said pull it and all that kind of stuff. And what does he mean, pull it? Dude said on national TV, we decided to pull it. So you decided to bring the building down. You basically said, we decided to bring the building down. Like, literally admitted to it on national TV. So I don't know how that's a weird idea. Like, that's not a weird idea. You don't have to prove anything to me when Homeboy said, we decided to pull it. Okay. Yeah. So you just said, yeah. There was so much loss of life. I like the way, yeah, anyways. The way he said that. It's a very quotable quote. Anyway, so this looks a lot like 9/11. Right? It's got the same earmarks. And if it has the same earmarks as another large-scale false flag, well, then it might be a false flag. And you might go, well, why would they want to do that? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they want the land. Maybe they want, there's evidence that they want to build an oil pipeline through Gaza. There's evidence that there's natural resources there that they want control of. They can't get control of it unless they kick people off the land. Trail of Tears 10.8. Well, we got to get these people out of here because we need the land. And we need a reason to do it. And thanks, Hamas. Appreciate you. Good job. Whoa. We just didn't see it coming. Man. There was so much loss of life. We had to go in and bomb them to bits. Okay. I mean, yeah, and then you might go, well, why would anybody do that? I don't know. Maybe they're heartless, power-hungry ghouls. I don't know. Jeez. No, but people they're just trying to do their best. Okay. No, you're trying to do your best. They are not trying to do their best or highest. They are not. They don't care. Let's see. Let's look a little more. No, I don't want. Well, maybe I do. Maybe I do want to hear from HIMARS. Y'all want to hear from HIMARS? I think this might be actually pretty funny. Israel knew Hamas's attack plan more than a year ago, Friday, December 1st. Whoa. Israel officials obtained Hamas's battle plan for the October 7th terrorist attack more than a year before it happened. Documents, emails, and interviews show. But Israeli military and intelligence officials dismissed the plan as aspirational. Of course, because, don't they have like 38/7 aren't they constantly 38/7 surveillance? And if a rodent moves in the desert, they're gonna take it out as a possible threat. I mean, how is this possible? Anyways, Israeli military and intelligence officials dismissed the plan as aspirational, considering it too difficult for Hamas to carry out. The approximately 40-page document, which Israeli authorities codenamed Jericho Wall, outlined point by point exactly the kind of devastation invasion that led to the deaths of about 1,200 people. A translated document. And by the way, I'm not making light of it, people dying on any level. I think that's a horrific part. But if you knew it was coming, or you wanted it to happen, then maybe you might be responsible for those people perishing, right? There's a thought. Translated document, which was reviewed by the New York Times, did not set a date for the attack, but described a methodical assault designed to overwhelm the fortifications around the Gaza Strip, take over Israeli cities, and storm key military bases, including division. Hamas followed the blueprint with shocking precision. It was shocking, wasn't it? The document called for a barrage of rockets and drones to knock out the security cameras and automated machine guns along the border, and gunmen to bore into Israel, and mass and paragliders on motorcycles and on foot, all of which happened October 7th. The document circulated widely among Israeli military and intelligence leaders, but experts determined that an attack of that scale was an ambition was beyond Hamas's capabilities, according to documents and officials. It is unclear whether Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu or other top political leaders saw the document as well. Last year, shortly after the document was obtained, officials in the Israeli military's Gaza division, which is responsible for defending the border with Gaza, said Hamas's intentions were unclear. They said it was beyond their capabilities. A colonel in the Gaza division brushed off the concerns about the report. He said, "I utterly refute that the scenario is imaginary." Oh, anyways. July, 3 months before the attacks, a veteran analyst with Unit 8200, Israel's signals and guys, I'm going to get to your calls. Just wait a second. Israel's signals intelligence agencies warned that Hamas had conducted an intense day-long training exercise that appeared similar to what was outlined in the blueprint. A colonel in the Gaza division brushed off the concerns. The analyst wrote in an email, I got it. The analyst wrote in an email exchange, "I utterly refute that this scenario is imaginary, and it is a plan designed to start a war. It's not just a raid on a village." Okay. Israeli security officials have already acknowledged that they failed to protect the country, and the government is expected. They failed to protect the country, but nobody's been fired. You know, whatever. Everybody's been promoted, probably. Okay. I want to, guys. I want to stay on. I have two callers, and I need to stay kind of focused here because I want to get to some other thing. I want to look at another story or two. I don't want to just spend the rest of the show talking about this. So that, just to say, this is very interesting. I'm going to take William. Can you keep it to like a minute? Just give me a couple of comments, okay? And hold on, William. I got you. You there, William?
Yo, can you hear me, Kev?
Yeah. Hi, Mars. I was going to take your call. William was there first, so. Hi, Mars. If you want to call in, just give me a minute. Yeah. What's up, William? How you doing?
Well, first of all, regarding 9/11, Israel, the USS Liberty, and Holocaust revisionism, the former director of U.S. Army War College, Dr. Alan Sobrowski, Jewish American, U.S. Marine Corps veteran, and Google. As far as 9/11, you want to know what went on? And you and Shalal and I have done a room. And anyway, this is more of the same. This is not intelligence failure. This is
no, yeah, it's just right. Most likely, just somebody was planning it, and then somebody was like, "Oh, yeah, we'll just will you go ahead and do that, and we'll just kind of act like we didn't know it was coming, okay?" Right? Like, What you do there is sneak around to the back and create a diversion. And then we'll, we'll act like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, well, you mentioned surveillance, pardon me, and intelligence. They're on top of this. None of this happens, whether it was attack of Pearl Harbor, 9/11, everything else, without
Yeah.
them coordinating. It's
Yeah.
all orchestrated by. There's a guy, Kevin, who was a former World Bank employee. He interviewed with Brighteon, Mike Adams. His name is Peter Koenig, and I put the video in
I've
the
heard of
chat.
him. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It blows it up. He tells you this is all orchestrated. It's all like the Tavistock Institute mind warping propaganda we're hearing.
Yeah.
And he lays it right out. Can I mention there's 3 reasons he said why this is happening? One, the Ben Gurion Canal. They plan to build a canal. They've had on the books
Yes.
for decades.
Yes.
Right? You know about
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got huge,
Yeah.
huge oil and gas reserves off Gaza.
Right.
And then the
I mean,
West
it's the
Bank.
same with Ukraine. There was like, oh well, we need to get rid of this, the Nord Stream, and then we're building a pipeline of our own, and blah blah blah. Do it's the same stuff. Hey man, I'm gonna let you go, William. I'm gonna take another call. Thanks for calling in.
One more thing, Kev. One more thing. The West Bank has got huge underground water aquifers, and water in the Middle East is key. That's the last component that it mentions. Okay, thanks.
For sure. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Dale. What's going on, Dale?
For taking my call.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry.
Yeah. It's been on my mind for many months actually that a space like Colin is crucial to the conversation that we all need to be having with each other.
What was that you said? With the first part. What's crucial?
Conversation is crucial.
Oh, conversation. Thank you. Sorry. I heard that kind of strangely. Yeah, man. I agree.
On a platform like this, we can get more skilled with it. Like I personally, I know you're doing podcasts. The journey to get smarter and smarter and smarter about talking to people, and I guess this turns out to be a question. Help us all, everyone in the room, understand, how to engage with our fellow humans and improve on the conversations that must be had.
Absolutely. No, I'm totally with you there. And that's why they're doing, everything to kind of to regulate what people can talk about on all these platforms and censor
use
people.
The right words.
Yeah.
Like RBN says, use the words the way they're meant.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to censor what we're doing right now.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, they're trying to, I heard a really good conversation with Whitney Webb yesterday. And they were talking about, and this kind of, randomly ties into the geomagnetic storm thing, but they were saying there's going to be like a electronic or internet 9/11 where everything's going to get shut down for whatever reason. Like there's going to be an EMP either from the sun or from somewhere else, and everything will get shut down. And that way, when they bring it back up, they're going to, everything will be, all the free speech part of the internet will be gone, basically, right? I mean, they're trying to do that. That's what the whole verify thing is about. Getting don't verify. I haven't verified anywhere. I'm not going to do it. I'm resisting it.
I agree. Like when I learned that Twitter was changing its branding, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I uninstalled.
Yeah, totally, man. I mean, yeah. Good points. Thanks, Dale, for calling in. I got to get back to a couple of stories, but before I get out of here, I have a very limited amount of time. I'm trying to cover so many things in a short amount of time, but I appreciate your call, man. Thank you.
Well, I just got here. What are we talking about today? And I might have something to say about it. Who knows?
Yeah, it's all good, man. I'm gonna just you might have some time to call in a little bit later. But I'm actually podcasting on a couple of channels, different channels too, like video. So I'm just gonna end the call now, and I'm gonna go back. If you want to call in later, that might be cool. But I only have a couple of minutes left to finish my show. So, but I appreciate you, Del. Thank you. Anyways, let's see. But it's, let's see. While we have a little time left, but yes, y'all know about Whitney Webb. I liked Dale's call. I appreciated his call. I don't know where he went. I think he was a little upset that I was kicking him out of the, or maybe not. Who knows? It's hard to know. I'm not going to assume that I know anything about people's what they doing, but the point was well taken. Anyways, if you guys, you guys are well aware of Whitney Webb, and if you don't know her work, she's really good. Super good. Okay, so some really good comments in the chat. Thanks, Salt Lakers. That was funny. I certainly don't want to be ostracized by my dumbass neighbors. I don't know. That tickled me. That was good. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. All right. Okay. I want to go back and cover a couple of things. But is it any wonder that they're going on with the Gaza situation are causing a lot of people to go, I can't believe any of this, I can't believe any of this is going on, or I can't believe what they're telling me about this anymore. China cover up fears over mystery illness as cases of sickness spread. China has been ordered. This is just weird language too here. I just was reading this and I was like, what? China has been ordered to downplay a mystery wave. By who? Who ordered China to downplay a mystery wave of pneumonia? Well, let me go back to I didn't actually, and I apologize. I didn't actually read this. So Republican senators ask Biden administration to immediately restrict travel between the U.S. and China over mystery illness. Wow. So it's, it's escalated to the point where they're responding to this in Congress. It seems a little, it seems strange to me. This seems like a strange story. It's been out there kind of, getting a little bit of momentum. And people are like, what about this China mystery illness? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. It's a mystery. But maybe we should ban travel due to something we know nothing about. Or I don't know. I suppose if you're really into the precautionary principle, which it doesn't seem like anybody operates on, right? No companies, no Congress, the world generally disregards the precautionary principle, except for when it's useful in a case, where something is being, orchestrated, I guess, right? So if something is a plan is afoot, right? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I don't know, we got to be careful. We got to be real careful, right? But usually you're like, I don't give a toss about anything that's harming people, right? I don't give a rat's patootie about anything that's going on. But, I don't know. It's a mystery. We don't know what's going on. Let's ban travel to China. It was just kind of like a pretty big thing, right? That's a pretty big thing. I don't know. Rubio and colleagues want to ban travel from China as mystery illness spreads. But who ordered China to downplay a mystery? That's who wrote this article. And why? Why does it start out with these words? China has been ordered to downplay a mystery wave of pneumonia. That is weird. Is that weird to you, guys? Doesn't that seem weird to you? Who ordered China? Is there some supreme leader of the world who's bigger than China? I mean, I thought they were their own people in their own nation. Who is ordering China? I don't get it. Anyways, downplay a mystery wave of some pneumonia, as cases of illness surge across the country, as an insider has claimed. Unnamed sources. Medics are said to have been told not to reveal the cause of the sickness and to avoid using the term COVID-19. Oh, they were told. I mean, this story is wild with innuendo, right? This story is something else. I mean, if this isn't a, hot off the Operation Mockingbird presses, I don't know what is. Let's put in there, never utter the words COVID-19. That'll make people feel better. The illness, which has caused unusual quote unquote symptoms. What does that even mean? All this story is this is like ultra high level vagueness, just like hyper vague. Everything is hyper vague in here. In order to make it seem like, dun dun dun, as fears of a new pandemic grow, hospitals have become overwhelmed with sick children. Again, sick children. Always protect the children, particularly in the north of the country. An insider from China's top leadership has now alleged that the country's top chiefs have been given a secret directive. Oh, the source claims the order came straight from Chinese leaders. Oh, he ordered the China to downplay. Okay, I don't know. Again, it's very strange. The source claims the order came straight from Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Authorities have reportedly insisted that the outbreak must be referred to as either Mycoplasma pneumonia infection or influenza. Okay. I mean, I guess, sure. Major foreign media outlets stationed in Beijing also received the order, which makes it clear that no interviews are allowed to report on the so-called Mycoplasma pneumonia infection or influenza. Domestic media are also prohibited from making any comprehensive reports on this outbreak. That is just like pretending that it never happened. Okay. I don't know what's going on in this. This is hilarious. But certainly very scary, of course. Be, highly on guard. Dust off that old mask that's been hanging up in your broom closet or wherever, dust off the mask and put it back on. All right. Several hospitals have set up makeshift clinics to deal with the surging number of patients. Numbers are surging. Patients are surging. Just when you thought the whole hospitals are overrun with patients, stories have gone away. Here they come again. I've almost stopped seeing, there were still up until about maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, people still on Twitter going like, cases are skyrocketing of COVID all over the country. They finally have stopped that stuff. Even though apparently, I guess people are still getting COVID, I guess. Let's see. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said it's in touch with local health authorities in its country office in China. CDC spokesperson Jasmine Reed said initial reports indicate that there have been simultaneous increases in a number of known respiratory illnesses, resulting in a spike of hospitalizations. What does that mean? Simultaneous increases in a number. So that's many. That's multiple respiratory illnesses. It's not one. It's all of them all together all at the same time. My God. Whoa. All right. Anyways, did you guys learn anything from that article? Are you guys more learned now that you've heard, now that you know? If I get in the, there we go, and change the lighting a little bit if I get in the camera a little more. It was looking a little dark. A couple of you all subscribe to my Substack. Thanks. Pretty soon, I'm going to put some things out on Substack. This has been a really long week. Let's look at this. Well, I found Poppy, the one that one article was taken down, but that's not the one I wanted. That's not the one I wanted. Here we go. Scientists say. What do scientists say? What's going on in this picture? Every time Bitcoin is bought or sold, it wastes enough water to fill an entire swimming pool, new research shows. Further evidence, I guess. I find it a little hard to believe it's that much water, but maybe. The research, a study published in the journal Cell reports, that you can fund studies and push out stories that, make people think something is actually going on when it may or may not be going on. So there's, just remember that part. The research, a study published in the journal Cell Reports Sustainability, also found that Bitcoin's water footprint is rapidly escalating, rising by 166% between 2020 and 2021. Now each transaction is estimated to expend over 16,000 liters of water, according to Alex DeVries from the Vrije or Universiteit Amsterdam. I just completely ruined that. The study's sole author, that's around 6 million times more than what you would use buying something with a credit card. Yeah. Okay. Sort of hard to surprise me given how I've already worked on this topic and I'm kind of used to big numbers popping up. DeVries told The Verge, but then again, the numbers are still mind-blowing even to me every time I look at it. Globally, Bitcoin mining used about 1,600 gigaliters. That's 1 billion liters times 1,600. Okay. Couldn't you? Okay. In 2021, and the figure could be upwards of 2,200 gigaliters this year, with the U.S. alone accounting for up to 35 gigaliters of that consumption. The steep increase will likely be driven by Bitcoin's climbing value, which encourages more mining. Okay. Soon I will be checking on, did I get any coffees today? Have I received any coffees today? Not yet. Have I received any Rockfin tippers? Not yet. YouTube tippers? Not yet. Yeah, there's a lot of water usage in all kinds of things in manufacturing. Let's look at this here. In just your everyday average data center, well, you don't see, here's the thing, they don't know how much water data centers actually use. So it's hard to know. Again, I find it a little bit unbelievable that they've quantified so easily what a Bitcoin transaction takes, but they don't know what an actual data center, the water usage is. And let's see. And this is from The Conversation. Can you all see this? 1960s ushered in a new age of processing digital information driven by the intelligence needs of the Cold War. Moore's law meant microchips doubled in speed every 2 years, shrinking costs and miniaturizing machines that once filled entire rooms. Today, the smartphone probably being used to read this article is 1,000,000 times more powerful, blah, blah, blah. While those huge supercomputers have disappeared, proliferation of the cloud and the Internet of Things, we need to communicate with data centers. Data centers can range in size from small cabinets through to vast hyperscale warehouses the size of stadiums. Inside are computers called servers, which support software, apps, and websites we use every day. As of the end of 2020, 597 hyperscale data centers were in operation. Mostly in the U.S., 39% in the U.S., 10%, only 10% in China, 6% in Japan. So mostly in the U.S., up by almost 50% since 2015. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft account for more than half of these, and a further 219 are in various stages of planning. Energy eaters, data centers accounted for around 1 or 2% of global electricity demand in 2020. All that processing power generates lots of heat. So data centers must keep cool to prevent damage. So this is interesting. Some companies are using cool air on mountain sites, and Microsoft has used the cold waters of Scotland to experiment with underwater data centers. Up to 43% of data center electricity in the U.S. is used for cooling. Where was it they were talking about? They're experimenting with putting data centers in the ocean underwater, which should do really great things for the amount of heat in the water in the ocean, right? Ocean temperatures should totally stay down at a manageable level if we put data centers in the water. The energy going into cooling water, which is either sprayed or into air flowing past the servers or evaporated to transfer heat away from the servers. Energy is required to cool the water, and the water is lost as it evaporates. In a relatively small 1 megawatt data center, which uses enough electricity to power 1,000 houses, these traditional types of cooling would use 26 million liters of water per year. Water directly used for cooling is what most data center operators focus on, but the largest source of water usage is actually electricity generation. So you're using it 2 times. This comes from how water is heated to generate steam, which in turn turns turbines and generates electricity, blah, blah, blah. The transition to renewables is therefore important to reduce both water and carbon footprints. Interesting. By 2030, wind and solar energy could reduce water withdrawals related to power generation by 50% in the UK, 25% in the US, Germany, and Austria, and 10% in India. Anyways, going back to this. Data centers accounted for 1 or 2% of global electricity demand. I wonder if they've quantified the energy demand of Bitcoin. I mean, so, and I imagine. Can you tell me this? Let's see. I want to know what it is in the world. Let's see. Bitcoin energy consumption relative to total energy consumption in selected countries. Hold on. Can you tell me this? Bitcoin alone is estimated to consume 127 terawatt hours a year, more than many countries, including, but this is Bitcoin worldwide, right? More than many countries, including Norway and the United States. Bapadoo. I'm just looking for something just really basic here. What's the percentage? Just give me a percentage, okay? Jeez. 0.55%. That's what I wanted to know. Okay. There we go. That's what we want to know. We've done it. We've cracked the case. Jeez. Anyway, so there you go. So Salt Laker said 1.2 gigawatts. All right. So anyways, world energy consumption. Bitcoin uses 0.55%, and data centers worldwide use 1 to 2%. Now, you might say Bitcoin in and of itself compared to that seems pretty large, but of the world energy consumption, 0.55%. But they're trying to hype it up as, oh, Bitcoin is destroying the planet. Just Bitcoin alone is like not making electric cars, not mining lithium, not mining for oil, not burning oil, not heating your home, not growing food, not right. Like Bitcoin is just the worst. Oh my God. It's just, they're just hype it up. They hype it up in order to demonize it. That's the point. And you might say, hey, you sound like you kind of like Bitcoin. I do. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, I think are, rather good ideas. Whatever. There's a whole lot of nuance to that too, right? We can go down the road talking about crypto or Bitcoin or what's going on. But I just find it funny that they have to, that they're really like concertedly trying to demonize Bitcoin as like the worst thing ever. Like, oh, so much energy and so much water for Bitcoin. I'm like, Bitcoin is destroying the planet. Oh, you use Bitcoin? What are you, a planet eater? I mean, sure. But you also use, computers. So, and the overall energy consumption from all, everybody using their computers is 1 to 2% of the energy consumption worldwide a year, which is more than Bitcoin. So, I mean, let's, all of it contributes to the destruction of the planet. Absolutely. So there's that. But this is a concerted, information campaign against Bitcoin because if Bitcoin were, operating as it is intended to operate, it actually could free you somewhat from the money system. And they don't like that. And so they'll either destroy it or absorb it into the money system in a way in which they can control it. Right. That's kind of the ultimate goal of that. And part of that ultimate goal is trying to demonize Bitcoin by telling you, oh, you use so much energy and so much water. When, everything else does too. I think it, yes, certainly it is bad that it uses so much energy and so much water. It's certainly bad that, everything, the financial system, period, stock trading, the worldwide, all the computers used for trading all over the world probably use way more energy than just Bitcoin, right? So nobody's talking about, oh, how bad stock trading is for the planet. Oh, how bad all the servers are used for computerized trading all over the planet. Nobody's saying that, right? Nobody even mentions that. It's not even getting a breath, right? But Bitcoin, oh my God, so bad, right? It's kind of ridiculous. But we learned a little something, didn't we? And I feel more informed today than I was yesterday, and that's all that matters. Right? You just try and do a little bit better. Anyways, cool. All right. Everybody's riding along on the Rock Fins. Everybody's riding along on the Twitter. Cool. I think I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Since I started a little late, but I also went a little late. And thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And I'm not going to be broadcasting this weekend. I'll be back on Monday at the normal time. At the rate. Oh, actually, hold on. I might actually be back Tuesday. We'll see. It'll be Monday or Tuesday, y'all. But enjoy your weekend, and I appreciate you. You'll probably see me posting things on Twitter and whatnot, or some other things. Maybe something on Substack. I don't know. But as for the Black Bear News, this broadcast, probably not till Monday or Tuesday. All right. Thanks a lot. Until next time, peace.